A new presence in Powell River. This is Go Island. You're watching Go Island. I am Ruth Harris. We're on location today in Powell River at the Shaw Studio to start. We're going to move around a bit, but that's where we're starting. In today's show, the Clash of the Titans down in Victoria, New Year's Baby in Nanaimo, and some really interesting things happening in Powell River. A new face. You're going to love her. She's going to be here doing stories about you all the time. It's going to be fabulous. Come on, let's go. After you. Now, across the pond in Campbell River, a new exhibit. Check this out.
There was a time when this parking lot near the scenic Discovery Pier in Campbell River was home to a young fellow that had a keen interest in the local marine life.
There was no pier, there was no parking lot out here. This was beach right here.
Vic Anderson's family home was right on the current parking lot adjacent to the Campbell River Maritime Heritage Center. And this one-time beachfront location has always held fond memories of Vic's youth growing up around marine culture.
My grandfather was a boat builder. My dad was a machinist.
It was about 10 years ago that Vic was out walking his dog around the old stomping grounds when he discovered the new museum, and the rest, they say, is history.
A friend of ours said that, geez, there's a meeting tonight of the Maritime Heritage Society. You should come to it. It could be very interesting, you know, since you guys lived here forever. So we went and paid the $1 membership fee. We're trying to find all the stuff that is of heritage value.
So as a dedicated museum volunteer, Vic was 100% on board when the concept of setting up a new undersea exhibit was presented. And today, it's ready to go. The new What Lies Beneath exhibit, on loan from the Maritime Museum in Victoria, not only captures the imagination of this lifelong mariner, but can capture yours as well.
You don't go for coffee when this guy's underwater.
What Lies Beneath is a colorful exhibit that's informative and complements the museum's mission of preserving maritime history. Trish Whiteside is with the Campbell River Maritime Heritage Center.
And we're glad to see everybody come and take a look. It's a beautiful exhibit and very colorful and very informative and all part of what we are. And we are open from Monday to Friday, noon to 3 for the winter hours. That'll change this summer. And our admission is $5 per person, and children under 6 get in for free.
So it may be the former backyard of Vic Anderson's youth, but today it's proudly shared with all locals and visitors to these shores. Hats off to the volunteers and staff of the Maritime Heritage Center and its current new exhibit, What Lies Beneath. You can always check out maritimeheritagecenter.ca for all the details. In Campbell River, I'm Lori Goddard.
You're watching Go Island. I'm Ruth Harris, and we're on location today in Powell River at the Shaw Studios, and we are so excited. We have a new staff member. Meet Raji Kabli.
Hi, Mary Ruth.
We are so excited to have you here. Now, what does it feel like to be in Powell River and you come all the way from the other side of the country?
Well, it feels awesome. It's my first time on the West Coast, and I'm loving it. I'm in trees, there's water, there's mountains. What more can I ask for? And Powell River is awesome.
As opposed to a cement jungle, which
Exactly.
is where you came from.
Exactly. So it's very nice to see all the nature around here.
Now, you are going to be doing stories for Go Island, so you're going to see Raji on a regular basis, probably 2, 3, maybe 4 times a week, if we can convince her to do that many.
Yep.
And what are you finding in the community already? I understand you've made some really good connections already.
Powell River is such a beacon of art and culture, and there's so much going on here. I'm really looking forward to diving into all of that and also finding out what the youth is up to. There's a youth council going on, and there's so much going on just with little stories here and there, and I'm really looking forward to tapping in and getting that out there.
Awesome. So we are thrilled to have Raji on board because now Powell River has a true storyteller on their side.
Thank you.
You're welcome. It's going to be a lot of fun.
I'm looking so forward.
All right. Now, when you think of Canada, what do you think of? Tim Hortons? Sure. Maple syrup? Absolutely. And hockey? Look at this.
I've been playing hockey since I was 5 years old. So I was in hockey at an early age, and I've never quit playing.
Hockey to some Canadians is a way of life. The excitement for the sport comes as naturally as breathing. And as these players prove, the love for the game doesn't end at 20 or 40 or 60 or even 80.
When I was young, I thought an old person was 60 years old. And here we are playing hockey at 75 and 80.
I don't really know of any other place in the country where there's this many active, old players.
The Parksville Panthers hockey organization has 180 players, ranging in ages from 60 to over 80 years old. And although these games may be slowing down, being a senior hockey player has its perks.
We get lots of ice time because the kids are all in school. It's terrific. It's not a problem getting enough skating time.
The ones that have played competitive hockey are really highly skilled. The rest are recreational, and they've improved. You know, because we play, you can play hockey here 5 days a week. So the guys really improve, and that's surprising at our age that they get better.
They're still pretty good at this age. It's amazing when you watch how fast they skate, and I don't know, I think they're doing pretty good for their age.
Although these games played today are supposed to be no contact, the players still get competitive at times. The caliber of physical activity at this age is no doubt impressive. The life expectancy of our population is increasing due to people staying active by involving themselves in activities just like this.
I find that if I didn't have the hockey, you tend to get, as you get older, like really old, you tend to get a bit lazy.
I think our seniors are living longer because they stay interested in things. If you don't stay interested, then you end up as a couch potato.
Although the NHL dream is long gone for these players, their drive to compete is still there.
I think most of the guys are pretty competitive. So if you're competitive and if you've played hockey all your life, you really hate to give it up. You really hate to give it up because once you give it up, then there's no future in hockey.
In Parksville at Oceanside Place, I'm Rayanne LaPlante.
You're watching Go Island, and we're on location today in Powell River. We started out at the Shaw Studios, but now we are at the Recreation Center. Just behind Gord is the swimming pool, and then down the hallway and upstairs is the hockey rink where the Powell River Kings play. And actually, there's a game on Friday night, which this is going to air Friday night, so you won't be watching us. You'll be watching the Powell River Kings, but you can watch us afterwards, and she's going to be there, so you got to come and meet her.
It's going to be fun.
It's going to be fun. Now, next Friday is a huge event here.
Yes,
Tell
there's
us
a
all
huge
about
event here at this multifunctional recreational complex. We have Family Literacy Day, and it's on January 25th, and there's going to be contests, there's going to be prizes, and it's going to be such a cool event, and I'm hoping to see so many families out with their kids and their loved ones.
It's going to be really, really fun.
Yeah.
Now, how cool is this? She's been here a week, and she's showing us around.
Why not? Powell River, there's so much stuff to do. I hop on my bike and I go, and I'm exploring everywhere. Yeah.
Awesome. Now, we are going to hop across the pond, down the highway to Nanaimo, where there is a New Year's baby.
I'm so excited to meet this year's New Year's baby, and surprisingly, it was born in a barn. Good news, it's twins.
It was a real surprise. She birthed the one, and he was trying to feed from her, and she kept pushing him away, and I thought, why is she doing that? And then all of a sudden I seen her contracting again, and then she had the second one.
Mary Lou didn't even know that Dally Lamb was expecting, and delivering her babies on January 2nd was not a typical time of year.
February's early, March usually, and most of my girls in May and sometimes June.
It's kind of funny because I never thought that a sheep would give birth while there's still snow on the ground.
Andrew Rigg has learned a lot through his experiences at Our Little Farm. He and his brother Isaiah have attended farm school that's run by Mary Lou and have continued to come back and visit her over the past 6 years.
I really love interacting with the animals and doing all the work on the farm.
It's all hands-on, and I really believe in life experiences, like doing real work. So they tend the gardens, they build things.
I just really like it here. Like, it's fun. I've learned about all the animals. I've learned about wool work, and I've made some stuff.
I think very highly of Mary Lou. She has a wonderful philosophy in life. She's about peace and harmony with Mother Nature and with each other. And I just think she's a wonderful influence on Andrew and Isaiah.
A lot of children nowadays don't get a chance to experience real farm life. I mean, I've had children come out and they see a goat or a sheep and they think it's a dog.
It's not just learning about animals. Mary Lou teaches the kids about many aspects of farming.
There's lots of dangers here in the farm part, not in the daycare area, but in the farm part. So children have to know that this is a real farm.
It's a very real thing. When I was growing up, you had to watch out for combines and, the tractors on the roads and everything. So I just think this is a wonderful way for them to experience a little bit of the farm.
That's where all our food comes from. You need the dairy from the cows to make cheese. You need the chickens to make eggs that go into a whole whack of foods, and then there's the growing the fruits and vegetables, and then those are really important too.
I think it's really important. I think not only the fact about, where your food comes from, but just learning those life skills. I honestly think that one day we're going to have to go back to doing this more.
Both Andrew and Isaiah say they intend on having farms of their own when they grow up. In Nanaimo, I'm Kelly Robinson.
You're watching Go Island, and we are on location with Raji, the new Powell River reporter. Please tell us where we are, because I'm totally lost.
Okay, so we're outside of the rec center right now on this wonderful bridge that connects to the main road over there, and it goes right over some trails.
Oh, trails, cool. Yeah. And here at the rec center, who plays here?
The Kings, and they're actually playing tomorrow night.
It'll be tonight.
Oh, tonight. You guys are watching it, yeah.
They're watching Friday, yeah.
Yeah.
So you'll be watching us, but you'll also be watching the Kings.
Right.
If you live here in Powell River, because you
Yes.
can come to the game. They're playing Penticton.
Dun, dun, dun.
Haven't played them since April in the finals.
See what happens.
See what happens. It's
Yep.
going to be fun. And next Friday, big day.
Yep, big day. It's Family Literacy Day. And there's going to be a bunch of prizes and there's games. And I'm hoping to see a lot of families come out.
Yeah. It's going to be good.
Yeah.
Now, Raji mentioned we're right over top of a trail. So we're going to go from this trail to the trails down in Goldstream Park and Douglas Creek, where hope runs through.
A small pair of tweezers and a steady hand, this is where it all starts. One by one, tiny dead eggs are plucked from the water, ensuring thousands of others stay a healthy, peachy orange. It's important work these volunteers are more than happy to do, work Mother Nature would likely appreciate.
When they finally absorb their yolk sac, they're about a half a gram.
At the Goldstream Hatchery in Langford, about a month goes by before the eggs turn into sac fry.
You can see their yolk sac, and that's what's sustaining them.
Then, more than 2 years after the eggs are laid, they look like this. These coho only weigh about 12 grams, but in about 3 months they'll be big enough to be released into the river. Eventually, a few will survive and make it back to spawn before the great story of salmon survival starts all over again.
The West Coast approach to salmon is one of viewing it as an iconic symbol of our West Coast experience. And I think if you can see a healthy returning salmon population to your watershed, then you know that you're in good shape.
But in some urban areas of the South Island, the creeks and streams where salmon spend their early days are playing catch-up. At Douglas Creek in Mount Doug Park, decades of development in the area has caused nutrients in the water to disappear, making it pretty tough for salmon to survive.
Many decades ago, the watershed, which is Gordon Head in this case, was farmland or forest land. And when it rained, the water soaked into the ground, and that and the amount of water in the creek was in harmony.
But with more streets, rooftops, and parking lots and fewer natural spaces, the water had nowhere to go.
So what would happen when we get a rainstorm is we get a terrific surge of water, maybe 100 times the normal level. And so what happened then with that surge is that it washed out all the gravel spawning beds, it eroded the creek and so forth.
For the past 20 or so years, volunteers have been helping to restore Douglas Creek. They've been measuring water quality and temperature, helping to restore the eroded banks. And for the past 7 years, they've actually been putting dead salmon back into the creek.
What we're trying to do is actually mimic nature. The stream is somewhat sterile, and we don't have the proper nutrients and food for the salmon that have actually spawned here.
And that's where, well, these dead salmon come in. Peter McCulley at the Goldstream Hatchery says salmon have lots of nutrients in them, and when they die, those nutrients go back into what he calls the food web.
In streams that no longer have large numbers of salmon, we're trying to help jumpstart our efforts by putting those nutrients back in.
And it seems, at least on a small scale, their work is paying off. Daryl Wick says in the past 10 years or so, small numbers of salmon have returned to Douglas Creek every year but one.
What we want is that it's self-sustaining, so we don't have to impose on the hatchery at Goldstream. And everything that indicates that that's going to happen, but it just takes time.
And Peter McCulley says because it's in the middle of an urban area, Douglas Creek is always going to face challenges, but things are getting better.
What has been achieved there is that the municipality is managing their stormwater a lot more effectively. People's awareness has been increased that live around the watershed. No longer are they inadvertently putting things into the storm drains that wind up in the water.
And the day may come when salmon naturally return to the creek year after year, as Mother Nature returns the favor. In Saanich, I'm Nikki Iwanishin.
You're watching Go Island, and we are on location in Powell River, and with our new video journalist, Raji. Yeah. You've been here a week, and you found this place.
Yeah, like you said, I've been here only a week, and this wonderful art store is just a great place for a source of inspiration, you know? Like, I love walking around this space right now. I'm so glad you guys popped in.
I'm telling you, there's some art in here. Yeah. I could stand here and look for hours.
Yeah, me too. I just stood there for like, I didn't even know how much time passed, but I'm just like mesmerized, you know?
There's some First Nations art up here that's been done. That's some carving. Absolutely gorgeous. Incredible.
Really,
Isn't that just gorgeous?
Really, really gorgeous. Yeah.
Awesome.
Really nice.
Now, down in Victoria, going on, the Clash of the Titans. Hurry hard.
We're here in Esquimalt for the oldest international curling event in the world, Canada versus Scotland. Cue the bagpipes. Of course you knew there'd be bagpipes at the opening ceremonies. It's the Strathcona Cup. Since 1903, every 5 years, alternating between countries, Scotland and Canada meet in this friendly competition.
We introduced the game, and then you lads just copied it. Just like to show you we can cuddle.
So how does Canada compare with Scotland then?
They're useless.
It sounds like you said they're useless.
That's right.
Maybe I don't understand your English. In Canada, useless means not very good.
Well, what can I say? You're very good at curling, and we just try to keep up with you.
That sounded like sarcasm to me.
Actually, Canada's not so useless. After 21 matches over the past 110 years, Canada has won 11 times, the Scots have won 10.
Pretty even, and they're friendly matches. It isn't all about winning, it's all about making new friends, experiencing each other's country, hopefully getting them to come back and see us in a holiday fashion.
So Mike, where are you from in Scotland?
I'm from a place that you've probably never heard of called Fochabers.
Mike Watts from, where was it again in Scotland, Mike?
You're waiting for trying to get me to say this wrong. Fochabers.
Better you say it wrong than me.
So let's
Mike Watts is part of the 3 Scottish contingents that crossed the Big Pond to compete for the Cup. 2 other groups are touring Eastern and Central Canada, while Mike and his teammates battle here in Esquimalt, Victoria, and North Saanich before moving on to Alberta.
How do you feel about being here in Canada and Vancouver Island? What do you think?
It's absolutely wonderful. The scenery is spectacular, the hospitality is wonderfully warm, and we are having a great time.
The average age of both teams' curlers is about 60 years old, but don't let the gray hair fool you. During their visit, these Scots will be playing at 29 different curling clubs across Western Canada.
It is exhausting, but it's such a historic thing, and we only get one chance to come on these tours.
Representing Team Canada here in Esquimalt are local guys who have been selected for more than just their curling expertise.
Not based on your ability to curl, but on your contribution to the curling community, your own community, and then your curling abilities.
Does it mean a lot to you guys to win, or are you just here for the fun?
No, we want to be more shots up than Canada at the end of the day.
I think we were all absolutely overwhelmed with the amount of effort and generosity we've received.
In the big scheme of things, a curling match may not seem very important. But in a world where some countries throw bombs at each other, we have 2 countries get together for over 100 years to throw rocks. In Esquimalt, I'm Dan Conn.
You've been watching Go Island. I am Mary Ruth Harris, and with me is Raji Kabli, the brand new video journalist specifically for Powell River. She's all yours.
Yay, Powell River. So excited to be here. So excited.
It's going to be so much fun to have you on board. We're looking
you.
forward to your stories and all the
Thank you.
people.
Yeah.
Look at everybody you met today.
I know, right? So exciting. So exciting.
It's going to be a great weekend. You have a great weekend, and we will see you next week.
Yep, we sure will. Thanks, Mary Ruth.
See you, Gordon. You might want to stop now.